Hello everyone. Today we are going to continue part 2, which is making an Earth Day pendant cabochon, which is a word I just discovered. But this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing you do is hit start. I'm going to hit upload, and I have a image here that I got off of the internet, and it's pretty huge. So because the cabochon are actually only 1 inch and 1 inch diameter, I'm actually going to go in here, and I got those off of Amazon. I'm going to do 0.98 because the diameter is 1 inch, which also includes the outer bevel, outer edge. I'm going to go in a little bit so my image can actually fit on the inside. So I'm moving this to 0.98. Actually, I don't have to unlock it. It's going to automatically make it the same on the other side if they were the same. Actually, I see it's not the same. So I'm going to do 0.98 here, and then I'm going to lock it. Okay, so now I have my image here. My paper is going to be on 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to duplicate this. It's probably going to start here, and I'm going to duplicate it. Probably about 7 times, because if you think about 1 inch and then moving over, although I have noticed that it only goes up to 6 1/4, I think. It would only let me go that far. Why? I'm not sure. I guess it didn't want me to print to the edge, that's why. So, what was that? 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's fine. I think that's what I did before. So we're going to just group it. I'm going to align to the top. And then I'm going to start moving them where I believe they should be. I'm probably going to go over to 7. And I'm pressing shift down so it can go along the same lines. Make sure that they're spread out perfectly. Holding shift down leaves it along the same lines. And I could probably move this one a little bit that way. So I'm gonna group them all, and then distribute horizontally so they're all perfectly spaced out. Okay, then I'm going to group them and then I'm going to duplicate them. Move it down. Now keep in mind, this is only if you want to make a ton. I was making, I think, 48 per page. You might not be doing that. But if you want to do a class set, this is probably enough, but just in case. We're gonna go down a little bit more. And if you wanted to help out some of your fellow teachers, even though I've worked in a school, and unless you're gonna do the entire school, problems. And that's just good for any new teacher to know. You can go ahead and do things for your class, but boy, and this doesn't have to be perfectly lined up. That's really not what it's about. Not at all. Just hit make it. So this is what happens if you just hit make it, and that might be okay with you. As you can see what happens, yeah, I was right. It stops right at around 7, so it will reorganize everything for you, make as many as you want. You can hit continue. This to the printer, and I personally am using 110 pound paper. It says add bleed. I'm choosing to add the bleed because, you know, it actually goes beyond. If you don't add the bleed, it sometimes may have a white piece behind your paper. And I'm hitting print. I have an Epson XP 15000. This is what it looks like when it comes out. And you see how it has a little bleed on around the edges. That's what we do, you know, just in case enough of the image didn't get through, so we don't get a white space. And then we're going to put that on our Cricut board. I'm gonna put it, I try to always put the part at the top that looks like it has a, you see that? I'm just lining it up. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's actually going to do its own thing. And then I slide it in here, and you want to push down a little bit. It is strong grip, but I've used it a ton. And you press that button. And then we're gonna go over here, and they don't have one for 110, but this has worked for me. It seems like it pushes a little too much, but it's working. I'm not gonna try to reinvent the wheel. All it's waiting for now is for me to press. It's just waiting for me to press this blinking button. One thing that I have learned is to make sure you hold the bottom of the board. Make sure you hold the bottom when it first starts because it can get jammed. So you press that. And it's gonna scan the whole thing first so it lines up with what it thinks I'm doing. And then it starts cutting. I have my little container there. So the way I've done it, and it changes, I just take this and just start peeling it off. They're fragile, which is why I only want to use a very strong paper. And then you just peel it off like that. And you'll end up with a grid like this, which is kind of fun. You may be able to use that for something. And then I just start bending it a little. And when you start bending it, you'll see that there's little areas that you can just easily take off. That's it. First things you will need are Cabachon, C-A-B-A-C-H-E-N, and then you will need pendants. I got those on Amazon, and you will also need necklace stuff that comes with the lobster claw, and you will also need Podge to make it on. And also, well, I have multiple ones. Either one will work. Those are 1 inch, by the way. The first thing you want to do is take one of the globes, take one of the cabochon, but you can put a little bit on there. That's enough. And then drop it on. You just roll it around a little bit. It's gonna move. It's definitely gonna move. You're basically trying to look to make sure that there are no bubbles in it. And then push it down. I've put too much glue and it seeps out on the side. Put too little glue and it doesn't stick well. So you'll have to see. It depends on how much you personally squeeze. What happened with some of the other ones I did. See how there's bubbles all over the place? Yeah. And that came from me putting this down first. Then I put the glue down. Then I put the picture down. Then I put the Mod Podge on the picture. And then I put the cabochon on the picture. That was a mistake. You take the pendant and you put a little bit of E600 on it.